the biggest lie in the personal development industry and in the spiritual movement. So for years I was caught in this perpetual cycle of trying to fix and heal myself. I did breath work, Reiki, meditation, I read all the books, I did chakra balancing, I did grounding, sun gazing. I did all these things to try and fix myself or trying to heal myself. But what I was doing, I realized, is I was using those things as a scapegoat from actually doing what it is that I truly wanted to do in my heart. And I was afraid from taking steps and taking actions and moving forwards in my life because ultimately there was a fear around what people would think of me. And so I got caught up in doing the inner work. And now, whilst that's important, what can happen is we get to a point where we start to engage in this mental masturbation of learning more, of trying to heal ourselves, of trying to fix ourselves, and we get all these profound insights and ideas that we don't actually act upon. And so in this video, I'm going to share you the 3 steps of transformation that anybody can implement, and that's what ultimately happens at a subconscious level when you have a breakthrough and you actually act upon it and change your reality in your life, and what happens at an unconscious level. So I'm going to break that down in this video. And before I understood this, like I said, I was doing all the courses, watching all the YouTube videos, I was investing in the mentors, I was reading all the books, and my life wasn't actually changing. Internally, my mind and how I thought about myself and all these things were transforming around me, but I was still frustrated with the things in my life were still the same. And I wasn't actually leading myself or leading others or actually being of service in the world. I was caught up in my own story and I was focused internally of trying to change or fix my past or trying to heal from my past and all the things that I perceived that went bad for me. And it was this ever evolving, cycle of like, yeah, I've had this realization and this breakthrough and this is amazing and this is great. And then I'd fall and I'd dip. And so I realized there's a pattern that goes on. And so the first pattern that happens is that you go through what I call the fixing and healing cycle. And this is where you're reading the books, you watch your YouTube channel, you do this healing modality, you do this course, you do this seminar, you do breath work, you do the meditations, and then you have this profound breakthrough. And this is where you go into the second step, which is where you realize like, wow, there's so much possibility. I can create something incredible with my life. I have this new vision, this profound insight. And you get this high and you start talking about, yeah, this is what I would love to do. This is how I'd love to change my life. And you start to talk about what you'd love to do. And then from there, typically it becomes this idea, it's all clouds and no dirt. It's all crown chakra and no root chakra, as I say. So it becomes this abstract notion of this vision in the future, and you have this grand vision to create a new earth and a new reality. But some people can get stuck in old habits of smoking weed and doing yoga all day, or meditating on their navel and watching the next YouTube video or reading the next book. And it's just continuously, they fall back into those same cycles trying to fix themselves. They're like, oh, why am I not moving forwards? It must be because of this thing that happened to me in my past with my parents, or that relationship or that thing back there, and I need to fix and I need to heal that. And so that's where you oscillate from having this grand vision, then going back into fixing and trying to heal yourself. And then the third step is, once you have that clear vision, you go into like writing it down and you start planning meticulously these details and these things and how things are going to happen and how things are going to work. And you get caught in this over-analyzation. And so all of these steps are necessary and required along the journey to actually transform your life and actually go out there, be a service, create a business that's sustainable and impactful and profitable, and become a leader that helps and serves other people. All of those steps are required, and I'm going to break down exactly how you can do it in the simplest format so that you can move forwards in your life. So step number 1 is go through and identify the 5 biggest challenges that you're facing in your life. And typically this will be around one area of your life There might be a few areas of your life. You might feel like you've mastered some areas, like I'm really good with my health, or you might be like, I'm really good with my career, but I need to focus on my health now because I'm burnt out. So there's usually, out of the 8 areas of life, which is spiritual, mental, vocational, which is your career, financial, social, physical, familial, and sexual, all those areas you're going to feel more inspired by, or feel like you have an element of mastery around, and then there's going to be other areas where you feel challenged by, and your mind is focused and fixated and trying to solve the problems in that area. And so find that area that you're having the most challenge with, and write out the biggest obstacles that are coming up in your way, and list them out, the top 5. And I'm going to show you the value of challenge and obstacles, and because we grow and we evolve through challenge. When we seek ease and comfort, we are going to attract difficulties into our life, because life is designed to help us grow, and we grow through challenge and difficulties. So once you've identified those 5 challenges and you've written them down on a piece of paper, now you're going to engage the neocortex, the creative center of the brain, by asking a simple question. What is the benefit of this challenge? And you're going to write at least 5 to 10 benefits of each one of these challenges, and this is going to start to awaken your brain and your frontal lobe and your neocortex from coming from a point of a victim of like, oh, these challenges, I don't know what to do, it's too hard, I can't figure it out, to, oh wow, this is actually giving me all the tools, the resources, it's giving me the resilience, the tenacity, it's helping me become empowered, and whatever those benefits that it's giving you internally, you're going to have some insights and some realizations where you were looking at the problems of your life from this limited perspective, this limited box, and then when you ask that question, you activate the frontal lobe, the creative and the executive center of the brain, and now what happens is you start to see from a greater level of awareness. You start to see outside that box, and you're like, there's actually solutions, I'm getting benefit from this, this is actually happening for me, it's not happening to me. And so, as cliche as that sounds, doing that exercise is going to be one of the most profound things that you can do in this moment, because you'll have so much creativity surge through, so many ideas and insights, and things will just start to shift within you. And then what you do from that point, step number 2, this is so important, and all of the greatest minds have implemented this into their life. They have some sort of statement, some sort of document. I call it the statement of purpose. Other people call it your mission statement. There's so many different ways you can call this thing, but basically it's an evolving document. It's not a static document of the vision that you would love to create in your life. The thing that's most inspiring to you, the thing that you feel called to do. And right now, you might write something down and it might seem very vague, and it might seem very generic, or you might not be super clear, but by doing that first exercise, you're going to create some space for you to be in a place of gratitude, because writing down your vision and your goals, it's really important that you're in a state of gratitude. You're in a state of grace. You're not coming from a place of lack, because if you write down goals from a place of lack, they're not really going to be that true goal or vision that's in your heart. It's from a place of like, I need to move from here. And so this can create resistance. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel aligned. And so writing out your own statement of purpose is one of the most profound, powerful, and potent things that you could do in your life, because this document is something you can update and you can evolve over time as you become more and more clear of your own internal consciousness, and you can start to strip away the conditioning, strip away the layers that don't serve you and that aren't truly you, and really, really hone in on what is that authentic stream of consciousness within your heart and within your own state of being. And so when you do this, creating this document, you're going to have all these different ideas. So start with what you know and let what you know grow. Now, once you've done that and you have this document and you've created this document, you want to have that on your phone where you can refine it and you can edit it. I would suggest reading it when you first wake up, when your brain is in the most creative state and you're able to tap into the subconscious mind. And I'll share an example with you. Before I even had my first business and my first clients online, I had written down in my statement of purpose, I work with incredible clients who get amazing results and are grateful and thankful to do the work. And so as I started reading this started to become a reality for me. And I also had in there, I'm creating an incredible course that gets my clients amazing results. And I had in there, I am creating. And so I had all these notepads of where I was creating all these half-baked courses and all these half-baked coaching programs. And then one morning I woke up and changed it from I am creating, and I realized, well, I'm doing that, I'm living that out. And I thought, well, I need to change that to I have created. And that was a few weeks later. Just by making that tweak, my own consciousness started to reflect that in my reality. So that's a really powerful document that I would suggest. You can also record it in terms of a voice recording, and you can listen to it. You can turn it into a movie. You can, create images that go with it. And there's so many ways you can take that to the nth degree, but creating that, something real and authentic that really aligns with your heart and soul, is going to be one of the biggest game changers, because you probably have all these inspired ideas and notes and things that you've taken over the years, but they're all like pieces of the puzzle scattered. Once you sit down and you create clarity and one place for all these creative ideas to form and to evolve, and you adapt them to where you're at in your life, that is probably one of the most profound things that have changed my whole entire life. So once you've done